Welcome back, everyone, to the Stay Introverted podcast. I am your co-host, Jay Coleman.
And I am your other co-host, Steph Laffy.
And as always, we're going to start off by just saying thank you for joining us on this podcasting journey. We definitely appreciate you. How you doing, Steph?
I'm good. I'm honestly a little bit tired today because, we had the photo shoot on Saturday, which took a lot out of me. It takes a lot of effort to smile, apparently.
It was fun.
Yeah. But otherwise, I'm good. It's summertime. Can't complain. It's been a heat wave, but, I like summer. Mm-hmm. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing good. Like you said, we had awesome time this past weekend doing the photo shoot. I had a nice lunch in Manhattan. I haven't had lunch in Manhattan in years. It was very hot. I think the technical term is hot as balls. So I think that's the technical term. That's what it was. So, but enough about the heat. Let me take a minute to introduce our wonderful guest today. Mr. Torin Robinson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I am wonderful.
You're good.
I want you to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, sir.
So I am currently a student at Florida A&M University, where I'm a fifth-year computer engineer major. I'm also involved in several organizations like Group 5 Group Social Fellowship Incorporated, National Society of Black Engineers, and then outside of that, I'm a usher and deacon in the church, and that's about it.
That's about it. You say that so casually.
Yeah.
Yeah, just these three major things. That's it.
That's so funny. So how do you balance all of that with your schoolwork? Is that a lot?
Not really, because I'm older now. I started school years ago, and then I came back to finish. So I have more of a balance. Like, okay, I spend time doing this, and then I stop. And I go to this and stop. And then I just kind of separate myself when I get home and just chill and then refocus.
Yeah, I hear you. So tell me a little bit about the Greek life, because it was something that I was curious about when I was in school. Mm-hmm. There were a couple of frats that I considered joining at the time, but ultimately I just chose not to. But it was always, I always had kind of a passing interest in this. So can you tell us about what Greek life is, and particularly as an introvert, how do you handle Greek life?
Oh, well, the org I'm a part of, we're not a Greek org, but we are similar in a lot of ways, like what we do. But basically, Greek life, and then the org I'm a part of, we like community service in a community. Okay. We also brotherhood, and then for female sisterhood, we uplift that, and we go out and make a difference in the world. And as an introvert, it's challenging because you have to not just work with these people, but you have to kind of get to know them personally. And if you didn't know them before you pledge with them, it's kind of like, yeah, I get overstimulated every time I'm with them, and I shut down and get my headphones in and just chill, but that doesn't always work either.
So Torin, is this, I know you said it wasn't quite Greek life, so is this like a co-ed business fraternity or something there?
We're not Greek because our letters are based in Africa.
Okay.
We have the same symbol 5, but it represents something different. Like so the back gives some history. The letter 5 was used back then to measure mathematics and pyramids and by the Kemetic king. So that's what my org got the 5 from. And so then the 2 G's are for like the term groove, like how men back then moved and was effective in their community and their daily lifestyles. So, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Very cool.
But it's still similar, though. We do the same thing they do. just different
Right.
ideals.
Nice. So I guess I have one question. So it's not Greek, but do you step, or did your frat step?
I have no rhythm, but I have strolled. I do stroll from time to time when I have to, but I have no. But yes, we do step.
Okay.
We do step. We do step.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we have a whole national step team. They're actually in New York. A lot of them are in New York. You in New York, right?
Step is in New York.
Oh yeah,
I'm in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us in New York. We have
Okay.
some chapters in New York. Yeah, they be in the parades
Okay.
too.
Wow. That's awesome.
Right. Nice. So, question: Is there? This might be a weird question, but is there like an age limit on joining a frat? And I ask because I had a friend, I guess, who like seemed she seemed to join like it's later in her college journey.
Mm-hmm.
And she was obviously older, so I didn't know if there was an age limit or any sort of limitation on like when you're able to join a frat or a sorority.
Well, we also, for us, we call ourselves a social fellowship, but because we're fraternal, but we're not a fraternity. But there's no age limit. Like if you go to college at 16 and you're interested in pledging, you can still get online and pledge if they choose you. And then when you graduate, they have grad chapters. And grad chapters for D9 Greeks and stuff, you need a degree, at least a bachelor's, and then meet the requirements. For us, we have grad chapters, and I came through undergrad chapter for family because we didn't have one, so I'm a charter member as well. But we're about to be soon official on campus. We're official on campus now, but we're about to be official in the org. But you can come through grad chapter in my org, but D9, you have to have a degree to come through. Yeah. So there's no age limit. There's people that do it at 80, 72. You'll be online.
Wow.
Yes. You'll be online with somebody that's 20 and you're like 50, some in grad chapter.
Nice.
But the brotherhood, is immaculate though. Age doesn't really matter because they learn a lot from you and you learn from them.
Okay.
That's so important. I think a lot of people misunderstand like people think just because somebody's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years older means that we can't have a friendship, we can't have a relationship, we can't learn from one another. Some of my closest friends at work are in their 60s, and I love them.
Yeah.
And I love that you pointed that out. So
yeah, because it's about the person. Like me, my line brothers, I'm like 9 years older than them, but it's not the age for me. It's who you are as a person. And then you at your jobs, you work with people younger than you. If you come in young and be there for years, you're gonna eventually be the old one.
Right.
That's so true. Yeah, age is something we can't really escape from. Like eventually we're all gonna hit that age. So
exactly.
Yeah, starting to run into that in the corporate world. Now, I've always been like the youngest on my team, on my staff. So now I'm kind of in an area where in my last job I was actually, I think I was older than my boss. So I'm starting to get on that side of the equation. So you're right. It doesn't matter. Eventually you will be the old head in the room.
I think I also mentioned about church on a topic. It's kind of similar, but being an introvert in the church is interesting because in the church they expect you to be loud, friendly in each other's space, and then you have those that don't get up out their seat to go greet people like me, and it just sits there and tune people out, and they think there's something wrong with you, and there's not. But
absolutely, how do you deal with that? Like with managing the expectation versus like the reality of what you can handle?
I just sit there and it doesn't bother me necessarily. I never care what others think. I just gonna be myself anyway. If they,
Yeah.
I'll tell them, well, I'm an introvert. If they don't want to listen, then this is just, I'm not gonna force myself to greet people if I'm not in the mental space or overstimulated.
Fair enough.
Like, I'm not gonna make myself do that. Sorry. Especially if I don't
Absolutely.
know
I
you
wish
outside of
I
church.
understood that as a student. I said I wish I understood that as a student.
Because what people don't realize between church and even these orgs, I mean, I'm going to do what I have to do, but outside of those things, if I don't know you, then that well, like you may know me in the org or in the church, but outside of that, I'm a whole different, I act different. And if you don't know that side of me, if I don't know you, then you're not going to get too much from me. It's maybe a hi or not.
So how involved are you in the church? Like, are you, do you, you know, are you? I don't know the positions because I'm not in the church at all. but you know, do you have any positions? Are you an usher? Are you a deacon? Those are the only two things that I know.
I'm actually both of those.
Hey, look at that! Called it.
As an usher, so when I see somebody coming in, I look at them and say to myself, okay, so how are you going to say hi to them? Are you going to just wave and say, smile and say hi? Or are you just going to look at them? But then you're an usher. If you don't speak to them or something, they might have a problem and never come back because you're a greeter as well. And as a deacon, I don't have to say too much. I just basically watch, make sure the church is okay, and assist the pastor and the ministerial staff, you know. But ushers don't really talk as much. We do like hand movements to communicate with each other.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I will say again, I'm not the most religious person, but I do enjoy how you incorporate aspects of a church life into your content. You know, and manage to mix in or sprinkle in a little bit of introversion into that. So I definitely love your reels on TikTok and Instagram. I find them hilarious.
Guys, people don't know like the struggle of being introvert, and then I don't know what it is about us, but we get in these positions that requires to talk to people. I don't know what it is. Like, why do we?
People want to talk to us. I don't get it. We're just like people. You know, they see us kind of off in the cut, or just see us minding our own business, and it's just like it's a magnet. They just got to be involved in whatever it is that we're doing. And what they don't realize is that what we were doing was nothing. There's nothing. We were just minding our business, and now they're here, and it's awkward sometimes.
Yeah, I think also too they see some like the skill sets in us, so we try to fade in the background. They pull like right now, my work's trying to pull me to the front. Like, no, I'm good. Y'all can have it. I'll just do what I'm supposed to do. No, you gotta come to the front. I was like, man, no. But you know all these people. Like, no, I do. But y'all have at it. But I can't stay hidden forever.
I was going to ask, you know, what do you do when they're really persistent? You know, how do you handle that?
Give in, but what I do, because I'm older and I know how to manage, I just turn on whatever personality I feel like being in that moment. Like work mode, like I know how to work with people, so okay, I'll turn my personality on and work with you. And then when it's time to be done, I just turn it off and go back to my, my shell back home. They don't really hear from me outside of that.
Oh, I love that. And like, has anybody ever given you a hard time for doing that, or not really?
Yes, because I think they misunderstand. They assume that some people assume I don't like them because I don't hang out. I'm like, I'm not a hangout type of person, and I just go home. I need to recharge because being in class and work and having to talk to people. When I get to you, I'm burnt out somewhat, and I have nothing to talk about. And then, so if I come hang out with you, I'm just gonna sit with my headphones in.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm
I totally hear that. You've got a lot going on, so I don't really blame you.
Like I told them, y'all haven't got the best part of me. This is my organ time, like the best part of me yet. Plus, I don't really personally know y'all yet. I know them as far as working, but personally, I can't tell you too much about them. I can tell you their names and where they from, what they like, but personally, I can't tell you what makes them upset or nothing because I ignore them.
You're so professionally honest.
I'm so,
Yes,
that's the trait of an introvert.
Oh yeah. Do you ever get in trouble for being too honest? I know I do.
A lot.
You have any good stories for us?
It was a lot, but let me see. I'm trying to think what's in my head. One time I was in a meeting and somebody was saying how they was gonna do better and they had this and this going on and da da da. And I said, "Oh, excuses," out loud. I was thinking it, but I ended up saying it.
Oh my God.
I didn't get in trouble, but it was like a ooh, oh.
Oh boy. I'm sure that went over well. Did you how are you with them now?
We're good. I'm still getting to know them personally. You know, I realize I have to be more receptive of them and not,
yeah.
You know, they try to get to know me and I'm like, we just work together. I don't care, but I got to be more receptive.
Jay, I think that you've talked about this before on the podcast about how you kind of will look at somebody and be like, yeah, that's not going to be my vibe. And then you find out later that they actually might be.
Yeah, and I am guilty of profiling. I apologize. I
call you out and you on the spot.
I of all people should know better than to profile others. So I apologize. But but you're right. You know, there have been times where, I've been around someone and I kind of observed them, and in that moment in time, I just get a vibe like, nah, I'm not really rocking with this person. But then some down the road, a year, month, whatever, somehow we reconnect, we get back in each other's orbits, and it's totally different. Or maybe I just take a look inside, which I've been doing more often. Is kind of saying, okay, well, what is it about me? It's not always the other person. Maybe it's just a different time of day. Maybe I'm out of it. I've noticed that for me, kind of how you said, Torin, if I have 5-7 things going on during the day, and it's 5:00, 5:30 in the afternoon, and I'm dealing with somebody, I'm probably not going to have the energy or the patience for anything. It doesn't matter how they're coming at me. So I've really been doing a lot of trying to be more aware of that, and it's not their fault all the time, but I need to take accountability and be like, okay, you know what, I'm just not, I don't have it. Let me take myself out. Try again tomorrow or try again another time. I have noticed that if certain times of the day, I'm a lot better at as far as being receptive to socializing. Not to say that I'm a morning person, but if there's a point in the day where I'm not bombarded or not overloaded with stuff, I'm probably in a better headspace to deal with people, because it's just for me, and maybe you can let me know if it's the same for you. I have a limit. I have a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of tank, gas in the tank, whatever you want to call it, and different things can drain it differently. But once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So, I've really tried to be more aware of it and more honest with myself about it. Because I was trying to pretend that like everything was fine, and people aren't stupid. Most of them aren't stupid, so they can tell. So yes, very a long-winded guess.
Hear you. I always tell people, look, if you're talking to me on a Monday or Tuesday morning, like all day Monday, pretty much until lunch Tuesday, and I snuff you or I'm like a little bit rude, that's on you, because I've warned you 1,000 times that those 36 hours I cannot be held accountable for a lack of energy, okay?
Yeah. And but
don't talk to me.
Yeah. The thing is though, if they really know you, you have those friends that know you, they can pick up like, okay, they're socially drained.
Yeah.
Let me give them about, all we need really is like 30 minutes to an hour, to be honest, of not saying nothing. We don't need that long, and we'll be back to normal.
Absolutely. Just give me space.
Because I know
very true.
When I get, so if I'm at work, because I work in like fast food right now, at a certain point, I'll get overstimulated, but then I have to keep talking, so then I start running on fumes, and then that's when I get really chatty, and I start jumping and saying crazy stuff. Meanwhile, my head is spinning, and I can't stop, and I can feel myself just like steam, like being worn out. Then by the time I realize it, it's like a weight, not completely shut down.
Oh my God, I have been there so many times, Torin. I like it's like a dumpster fire in your brain and you can't turn it off.
You said like you're talking a lot.
And it's so funny because people don't realize, like, I'm the same way. When I get overtired or like burnt out of people, I get super chatty and hyper, and it's like the opposite response of what you would expect from an introvert. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I'm like short circuiting and like I don't know. I'm taking the opposite route that my body wants me to.
Yeah, like
it's kind of like a star. It's kind of like when a star dies, it gets really bright, really really bright, and then it just goes away.
Yeah,
that's kind of how we are. You know, we shine very brightly for a short amount of time. I don't know about you. I've managed, you know, when I'm in work or at work, I noticed that there are certain points during the day where I have a bunch of energy. Like for me personally, I am useless until about 10 a.m.
Same.
Something about 10 a.m. Once 10 a.m. comes, I'm good. I'm on. Yep. I can hear whatever you want to say. I don't like having meetings before 10 because I don't.
I agree.
I think it should be a federal crime because who the hell talks before 10 o'clock? I don't know.
What about the people that put meetings at 8:30 on a Monday? Like, are you what?
They're 8:30 on a Monday.
You serial killers.
4:30 on a Friday.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yes, there's this special place in hell for you. Okay, mm-hmm. Like why? Why? There's you have
you couldn't find any other time in the 40+ hours during the work week.
Yes, like you just have no joy in your life, and you should go away. I don't like it.
You suck all the fun out of the workplace, sir or ma'am.
Yes, you do, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Well, yes, 10 a.m. to about noon.
Yeah,
I'm good. Gotta eat and recharge, and then like 1:30 to 3:30, I'm back at it, and I kind of just I start winding down about 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
that's just me. That's me. Like you know, it took a while for me to really understand like why is it 8:30? I'm here, but I'm not here.
Yeah,
but 10 o'clock, whatever you need, Jay got it.
Yeah.
Right, I'm like an Energizer bunny at 10 o'clock. I don't. Yeah. People are like, "Damn, she's on. She's on." Before that, it's like she's dead to the world.
Yeah, like I get 8 hours of work done in like those 4 hours.
Yeah.
I tell people, I'm like, when I go work, I just came from back home. I would tell them, so I'm like, I'm not up yet. Like, give me at 10 o'clock, I'll be fine. And then at 10 o'clock, this burst of energy happens. And then about 2, I start slowing down because I get up at 4. And it's like, Then I start telling them, well, I'm overstimulated and, that's why I'm talking so much and y'all are getting on my nerve. I vocalize these things because, like, I'm trying to
That's
tell
important.
you.
Yeah, no, you're self-aware, but you're also using that self-awareness to inform the people that you work with and the people that are around you. And that probably makes for such better relationships. Because, instead of leaving people guessing, like, did I do something wrong? Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You're giving them the opportunity to understand, and it probably prevents so many conflicts before they even happen.
Yeah,
So,
because I don't
it's awesome.
like conflict.
Yeah, but
Me
Steph
neither.
is right. Steph's right. Like it is very refreshing to be that honest. Really, both of you. And that's something that I definitely need to work on because I'm kind of again I'm the opposite. Like I'm quiet by nature, but like I said before, I have my moments when I'm on. But once my battery is empty, I become um, quieter in the sense that I'm still talking, I'm still responding, but it's a lot of one word, one syllable answers.
Like you're timid,
You
just straight to
yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
you might get a sentence if it calls for it, but that's just kind of how I am. So I definitely need to work on kind of just being more in that mode. I'll get there. I'll get there at some point.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the go back to org life. So my line name they gave me is Silencer. Now, a lot of people think silencer means quiet, but it just means the thing on the gun that lessens the noise of the gun. But I tend to shock people because when they see me, they're like, "Oh, he's quiet. He looks like this. He's soft spoken. He's not, Then whether it's in conflict or work, I surprise people like, "Oh, I didn't know he had that in him or that was him." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you." I tend to move behind the scenes and in silence. Then I just pop out. No warnings.
Interesting.
That's hilarious. How did that nickname come about?
So, not to give too much away, but the person that was bringing me in, he demonstrated something.
Give it away. Give it away because
that's get in trouble. He was.
I mean, we need it. We need the story because silencer. That's particularly what it means. Yeah, we need that story, sir.
So I would just not give too much away. So the person bringing me in, we call them deans. So it was a demonstration for something that involved something. So I was a part of the demonstration, and it had to do with physical, but it was like not touching me. It was like an object. So he put his hand there, and it was like someone right here. And he asked me, "So what do you do when that happens?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "You're supposed to snatch away." So I said, "Okay." He did it again. I went like this, and he kept doing it. And I kept snatching away. So the final time, I don't like being touched. Before I was like this. I guess I did it too fast and too strong. He almost fell, and everybody else was shocked. They didn't see it coming because they didn't expect it. So, but that's not to give. I probably gave a little bit too much away, but yeah, that's basically what happened. I almost hurt somebody, basically.
Okay.
On accident.
All right.
But that was my reflex.
You know what? We all have stories similar from our college days. So that's funny.
Yeah. That's why I won't let them call me silence. I'm like, I almost took somebody out.
Damn. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but I mean, I think in its own way, it's kind of on brand for us.
Yeah.
We our
well, they say, it's always the quiet ones, right? Right.
Yeah. Anytime I see somebody with silent something or quiet, I'm like, yeah, you're probably an introvert or quiet person, and you kind of shock people, and people I said in my intro, I said always expect the unexpected, but that's what it is for us introverts. Expect the unexpected. You don't know how we're coming.
Yeah, I like that better than it's the quiet ones you go to watch. I never like that saying.
What, expect the unexpected?
No, I like that. Expect the unexpected. I think that fits more than it's the quiet ones that you have to watch. I never like that. I never like the saying.
Yeah, because
it's the quiet ones you have to watch, because I just feel like while you're watching this quiet one, a loud one is causing all this trouble.
Yes,
that's true.
Like I'll put it to you like this: you're at a bar and there's this dude by himself sipping a beer, not bothering anybody. In the door walks somebody and says at the top of his lungs, "I'm going to shoot the next person that walks into the door." Who are you going to watch?
You're going to watch that person that said that. You're not going to watch the quiet person.
Exactly. So I never really rock with that saying, but I definitely do like expect the unexpected. I think that fits introverts a lot more accurately than the other one.
I think people do the quiet ones because people, and I go through this in anything, and I'm pretty sure y'all do too, people project themselves and what they would do because you don't say much or do much. They think you're going to do it, and you're not. I mean, they expect you to, he's going to respond like this. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I know my.
Yeah, that is so true. I think when people are like pointing fingers and saying like, "Oh, like you're gonna do this or you're gonna say this or you think this," it's like, am I or are you thinking that and you're just putting it on me to deflect?
Yeah. I actually made a TikTok on that when people project themselves onto you. I think I'm on TikTok.
Oh yeah, we'll have to link it. What was like? Was it just? What was it?
What did I use? What sound did I use? I'm trying to remember. It was something when people project themselves. Oh, it was a sound that said, "You're a drug dealer," and the person like, what? Like, I'm a drug dealer. Like, what? I'm minding my business, and you say this, I'm this.
That's funny. We love projectors, and then we don't.
Yeah. Like me, I learned from a young age. I just stare at people when they do that, and it just gets awkward, and then they go away. But I do find that staring at somebody works, because it's like, why are you assuming that I'm going to have this reaction, or I'm going to say this thing, or I'm going to do this thing, and you don't know me at all. So just sit there in your ignorance.
Exactly.
That's where that phrase "don't assume" because you'll make an ass out of you and me comes still in handy.
I like to tell people, and then they're like, "Oh, whatever, you just in denial." I'm like, okay. And then moments later, when something happens, or like say my work ethic, when people say I don't do nothing, whatever, then when other people notice my work skills, the people that's familiar with me, like, "Oh, I didn't know." I'm like, "Yeah, I told you, but you didn't believe me, and you got too familiar and assuming. So now this person that never met me, they met me on a different level, and they see my work ethic and or my personality, like, oh, now you feel dumb, now you feel stupid because it wasn't what you thought it was, and you made a big deal out of it." A situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think introverts are definitely having a moment, which is good, but I think there's just still, to a very large extent, just a lack of understanding about who and what and how introverts are, and people don't understand, and a lot of times they don't want to take the time or spend the energy in trying to understand. Like, not everyone needs to talk about everything. Some people can just sit in silence and be quiet or be introspective. Some people need to charge up in order to socialize. So I think there's still that lack of understanding and kind of how you and Steph said, they're just that it's easier to project your own feelings onto somebody else than to actually take the time and get to know someone. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll move away from that, but that's kind of what I'm still seeing.
Yeah, I had someone tell me, it's like it was a heated thing, and they said to me, "Oh, you don't like yourself. You hate the situation you're in." Now, mind you, they're going through something themselves. Me, I'm fine, but you don't like yourself. You don't want to change your this. I'm like, where did that come from? Because that's not me. That's you. Because I know that you're in this situation you don't like and you refuse to change. But okay, if that's what I'm the most confident person, because that's the way everybody picks up on when they meet me. The authenticity and my confidence. But okay, I'm gonna let you go with that to fit your narrative.
Honestly, sometimes it's like not even worth it to try to reframe somebody's story that they have about you. Because like a lot of people are super hard-headed, and like you said, they project their own insecurities and their own bullshit onto us. So if you're gonna think that, my true colors are gonna show. You're gonna see that you're wrong, or you won't. And either way, it's none of my business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Not my business what you think about me.
Nope. And that bothers people the most. You don't care.
Yeah. When you don't care, it is the biggest, fuck you.
Right.
To people
and I told them, I don't care what you think about me as a person. You don't even know me like that.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's definitely triggering when, somebody makes a judgment about me and they're right. And it's and I'm I know they're right, but I don't really want them to be. That can be really triggering. But when I know they're wrong, I'm okay, whatever. That's your problem.
If they're right, I just okay, yeah, that's true. I admit it, yeah.
That's true.
Okay, yeah, that's me.
Right. I mean, I feel how you feel about that, whatever they're saying based on your reaction. So, if you know it's not true, you're not really going to care.
No.
If there's some truth to it and you haven't personally dealt with it yet, you haven't acknowledged it, that's where it gets really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if it's something my mom and sister and family all make fun of me because I'm oversensitive. And I know that. I own it. I'm yeah, I'll probably start crying because you said that. So I can laugh about it. But if somebody were to make fun of something that I haven't come to peace with, but I know it's true, that's where I start to get triggered and frustrated.
And that's another thing. We're not sensitive really. We're sensitive to we're empathetic. We can pick up people's emotion. They can say one thing, but they feel the opposite, and we pick up on it. And we tend to react based off what we are feeling in the environment or that person. And they don't get it because they're I'm saying this, but yeah, I see this and I'm picking up this. So body language, facial expressions, tone, it does never lies.
Right. Absolutely. So Torin, I'm curious, have you known since the start of school that you were an introvert, or when did you figure that out?
I discovered when I started school about 11 years ago, we took a personality test and I got INFJ. And so I started looking up type A, type B personalities. At first I thought I was a introvert. I was okay, I go to school, I talk to these people, but then when I go home and I see these same people, I don't say much to them. Or if I'm on campus in my dorm, I don't say much to them. I'm just chilling. So I'm okay, I must be an introvert. So then I left it alone, but I knew, okay, I'm an introvert, but I give more, I'm social when I'm supposed to be. Then COVID happened, and I started seeing these introvert TikToks with Jay's and Terrence Lee. He's a family rattler himself.
Oh yeah, didn't he go to Florida A&M too?
Yeah, and he's part of
Alpha Psi.
He's a part of an organization himself. And then when I
started, oh wow!
Huh?
I didn't realize he was in the same org. That's awesome.
Oh, he's in a different org from me, not in the same.
Okay.
No, same.
Got it.
Yeah. And I started seeing videos of introvert TikToks, and I started seeing certain things like, oh, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's how I respond. Yeah, that's me. And then once I figured out, okay, so you're an introvert, really, so embrace it. And once, I think with all us introverts, once we find out we're introverts, we start to, okay, this is just me, and then we grow confident and we could care less, as you get older,
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's. I don't know if I don't know if inspiring is a word, but it's definitely a good feeling when you see. It may be a reel or a TikTok, but just seeing that there are other people out there in the next, the same city, different city, different parts of the world, who have a similar lived experience as you do, and you say, oh, it's not just me, oh, you also can socialize, but then when you go home, you don't feel like talking to them. Oh, okay. You also read books. You also prefer books and people. It's a good feeling. It's kind of validating, I guess, in a sense that there are so many people who have a similar story to you. Just because it's like, growing up. It's almost like I read a passage where, like, growing up, every introvert just feels that they're just out of place or kind of just a step off or a step slow, and then you realize, oh, no, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just how I am. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you were talking, Torin, I was kind of wondering how many people do we think discovered that they were introverts during COVID?
Probably. Well, I will say this. There's some people that's saying they're introverts and they're not. You just get older and like less noise and peace. So you're not really an introvert. You just, these people, because I had someone tell me they used to be introvert. I'm like, you never stop being one. You just adjust better. You adjust better to things, but you don't stop being an introvert.
I hate when people say that.
Like,
oh, I was so introverted during COVID. Like, what are you talking about? Do you know what the word means?
No.
Like, people are like, oh, like, were you more introverted as a kid because you don't seem so introverted now? I'm like, no, I just learned how to be more social and how to, like, not make my recharge time everybody else's problem.
Yes.
But I'm still very much an introvert. Right. I just know how to handle myself and situations better.
Yeah.
So I'm just as much of an introvert today as I was the day I was born.
Yeah.
And as I will be the day I die. It just presents differently.
Yeah. You don't really stop being one. I mean, there's people that, at different introvert levels, there's social introverts and there's, I forgot the other ones, extroverted introverts. Yeah. But as you get older, you just adjust to it. And even when they say we don't go out, we just don't tell you. We have a small group of friends or by ourselves. We just don't take pictures and stuff a lot.
Right. Yeah, I always joke around, like, if my extroverted friends aren't around to take pictures, you have no idea that I was out because I'm not taking pictures.
No, you don't want taking the picture of them.
Yeah. Right. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's hilarious because it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Like I could go around the world. You'll never know.
You have to spot us out, and then when they see us, oh, you're outside. I'm like, yeah, hi, just not with you.
I'm like, if you see me outside, it's not me.
Exactly.
That's how I am. It's not me, homie.
No, somebody
else. I don't know what you're talking about. It's that other Jay.
It's
hey, friend of the show. Is that Noki or Meatball?
I think that was Noki. I'm starting to have a hard time telling which one's which. Good.
I guess that means that Nuki is learning from Meatball.
Yeah. But that actually is probably my cue. It's been so hot for the last couple of days that I can't take them out until like super late at night.
It's hot down here.
This whole podcast, I've been literally like muting myself because they've been running into the walls. Yeah, they're losing their minds, and so am I. So
yes, I guess it's that time to wrap up so that Steph can take the pups out for a stroll.
Yeah. So Torin, before we let you go, is there anything that you want to plug, or like where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook as Torin Robinson. Instagram is same thing, but it has a period between my first and last name. My TikTok is Torin J95, but that's
okay.
That's it. That's all I mean.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll link all of that in the show notes for sure. Mm-hmm. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun chatting with you, and can't wait for our community to get to know you. Yeah. So anyway, that was Torin Robinson.
Yep.
Robin.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry. See, I told you I'm losing my mind. So that was Torin. We are so excited and grateful that you guys have taken the time to listen to this episode. Be sure to rate us, review us, follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to stay tuned for another episode next Tuesday. Hey. Introverted.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.